to you today about creating business partnerships in the area where you service. And when I first became a principal, that was never even talked about. And then when it was talked about, it was never taught. And so for the most, maybe 6-7 years of my career, I didn't even know how to do it. I didn't know how to create these business partnerships until I went to my second school and I had an assistant principal who rocked at creating business partnerships. And what I did is I had him teach me how to have those conversations. And this is how it went. We would be, having lunch together or something in the summer, and he would ask the server, hey, can I speak to your manager? Manager would come up and he said, hey, I'm so-and-so, he's so-and-so, we're from this elementary school. We'd like to form a partnership with you. Have y'all done that before? Are you interested in that? And 99% of the time, the manager say, yeah, what did you have in mind? And then we would go into our spiel about what we needed and so forth. But I didn't even know how to have that conversation. And what he did to me, what my assistant principal did to me, is every time we went somewhere, he would say, okay, John, you have this conversation. Or let's have this let's find the manager. Or we'd go in, like during the summer, we'd go, go picking up something for the school. And if it's in a strip center, we'd hit every business in that strip center. And so it became a skill that I learned that I'm telling you is one of the most powerful things that happened to me as a principal. And if I hadn't have had that assistant principal teach me this, I wouldn't have known how to do it. So I'm just passing this on to you. Okay, first I want to make sure you get the right vocabulary. We're looking for business partners, not partners we can leech off of or just constantly ask for stuff. That's not what we're looking for. Partnerships, how I can benefit you and you can benefit me. How can I bring you more business? That's one of the key things that I kept talking to my partners with is, okay, you're in my area. I want you to prosper. So how can I help you? And we'd have those conversations like, okay, well, I'm having an event here in the next month. Why don't you come and join us? And so here's some things I want you to think about. And in one of my earlier videos, I talked about the master calendar and how important it is to have the master calendar really thought out. And here's where it comes into play, is if you have your master calendar, and I'll put it in list form, like everything in August, everything in September, by the date, by the time, who's in charge. If you haven't seen that video, go back. And I would like for you to think about what events could a business partner come and join you at? If you have any kind of literacy night, STEM night, a carnival, anything after school, a PTA meeting, when you have a lot of people, okay, that's a great time to bring in a business partner. So let me stop for a second and talk about what kind of partners I'm talking about. Real estate agent, Kona Ice, BJ's Restaurant, any dentist in your area, any florist in your area, any daycare, any service provider that provides services to that community, any bank. Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union here in San Antonio is a fantastic business partner. So let's just take, for example, a PTA meeting you're going to have after school. Well, invite them in. Invite them in to set up a table. No charge. You're just providing that for them so that they can gain more customers. Okay? So now you've provided that. You've helped them. Now going back to the master calendar, what I alluded to earlier is if you have your master calendar and you've thought things out, you're gonna know when they can come in and set up a table or a booth or whatever, when it's an event, but everybody's going to be everywhere, so you don't need them there, but we could set out a table and put their business card there, or if it's a dentist, put out all those individually wrapped toothbrushes and toothpaste, things like that. It may be that everybody gets a bag and they're going to go around to your event, and let's say different service organizations within your school, at a high school specifically, may be giving out things. And so you don't want competition to what you're passing out, but you still want to provide an opportunity for that business. So they could provide bags, they could provide handouts, they could provide things that then you are going to put in bags. So if you plan your master calendar out, you're going to know when they can come on campus and when it would be beneficial for both of you, when you may need money for an event, a donation, so that you're going to feed people, but you don't have it in your budget. Well, since you've already provided them opportunities to come into your school at the PTA meeting or whatever, then they could provide that money. But you really want to strategically plan out what you might need from businesses, your partners. At the school I was at with that assistant principal who rocked on business partnerships, we invited all of them to come in during the month of June. We had 2 times, and they could come in. We had, we had a room full of business partners. And so we went down the calendar so that we could specifically say, this is an event on this day, and this is what it's going to look like, and this is how much time you would have. And so the businesses could go and think about, okay, number one, does this line up with our values as a business? Do we want to participate? What's our cost benefit ratio? All of those things that they plan on as a business, but at least they know what you need and what you have to offer them in return. So if you can create that meeting with the master calendar that I previously talked about, then you can organize, and you can systematically plan for things. Because let's say you're going to have a fall carnival. It's just as an example. You're going to have events everywhere. You're going to have booths and jumping and all kinds of things going on. Well, if you can have business partners come in, set up a table where they can pass out their stuff, but they have to bring a game with them, that's one more activity for your community, your kids, your students to participate in. And it doesn't have to cost anybody anything. You know the 3, 2, 1 buckets where you toss in that bucket and then the other bucket's a little bit further and a little bit further, or spin the wheel? All of these businesses can produce those kinds of games for you. So what was just a carnival is now a community event. And so now your whole community can enjoy your business partners that are in the neighborhood. One thing that I did at my last school, which was about 95% eco-dis, is at every event I had a job fair component to that event. So I would get with my local Sonic restaurant or the mom and pop Mexican food down the road or the gas station or whatever. And I'd say, we're having an event this week or in 2 weeks. Would you like to come in and try to solicit some applicants for your job openings, for your openings you have right now? 99% of the time it was a yes, I'll be there. Because here's what I wanted, is I had a community who did not have cars, who did not go very far outside of their community, but I wanted them to have a way to earn income. And so if they can walk to the Sonic, if they can walk to the gas station and take care of their shift and then back home, then I've enhanced my community. I've grown my community. I've benefited my community. At my last school, we had a partnership with the military here in San Antonio, and we had a whole a unit that volunteered at my school. And when we had a carnival, they brought big military equipment just to put on display. The kids climbed up in it. There was all kinds of things going on. But if any of you have John Deere, Kubota, Caterpillar, anything in your community where you can invite them just to put things on display, any classic car club, Jeep club, any of those things that can make your event a community event, then you would be inviting those people in. And again, it's business partnership, it's building your community, it's helping your parents and your students understand that you are a leader in a community. So take those opportunities to be the leader of the community. So what you're going to need to do this, you're going to need that master calendar really thought out, and then in list form, and then calendar, list form, and what you would need for each event, whether it be money, them to be in person, them to create a handout that you're going to stuff into the bags. You got to be intentional about that. And then you're going to need a donation letter. I'll put examples of all this in the description so you can see, or at least have a draft of what mine looked like. And then you can customize it and go from there. But you talk about a return on investment skill. And I'm so grateful for my assistant principal who taught me that skill, because moving forward into the toughest school I'd ever been to, it paid off tremendously. So I'm still grateful for him and his time that he taught me. Okay, so that's the lesson for today, business partnerships.